Welcome back to the Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. Today we are here for a Set Intentions reading. I'm going to get back to the series of which I'm going through the 78 tarot cards and explaining how I read those at a later time. But if you are interested in this content, please join the channel. So by subscribing, like the video, leave a comment in the comment section, and let's get started. So, Set Intentions reading, what those are basically, at the end of every week, on Saturday for the most part, depending on where you are in the world, I do a reading to help us set up intentional things that we can be looking at during the week. This is a collective reading, which means these instructions are for anyone who wants to watch this video. However, your week may start on a different day than our week starts. Depending on, like, if you're off on Monday, Tuesday, your week may technically start on Wednesday. If you're off on the weekend, your weekend starts on Monday. If you go by the Sabbath, depending on what religion you are, your weekend starts on Saturday. Sometimes it starts on Sunday, depending on what it is. So you choose when you want your week to begin. I always do it on Saturdays, is when I set the intention so I can begin them on Sunday. And that's just because of the calendar. You know, I try not to vary too much from the calendar. So what we're going to do, this gives me the opportunity to use two of my very new decks. I have not worked with them at all. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I try to roll the die. I explained this in another video, what these die mean. I could tag that video in the description section if you are interested in knowing that. So we have the number 3, which means that I will be pulling out 3 oracle cards to help us with our tarot reading, and also 3 tarot cards as well. This particular symbol here, I like to call it the warning symbol, for all the things that I have here on the die. That means this is something that we need to take heed to or look out for. With the one in gibbous moon going on tonight, the one in gibbous usually means that something is shrinking. When something shrinks, the light is not as bright. So there may be some things that you are overlooking or that can be overlooked. So we're going to be looking at things to take heed or take warning to during this reading. Okay. And I'll also do 3 numerology cards for you too. That's basically what those die do for me. So I am going to be using my Evolving Souls Tarot. Like I said, this is a very new deck. I just love the back. And to help us figure out how we're going to set our intentions. And again, we're looking at something that we need to take heed to, or something that we're being warned about, something that we need to be conscious of, staying alert of, those things. With our numerology reading, I'm going to break it down to a single digit number when it comes to health related issues. But we'll go from there. And because I have the number 3, I also just shuffle 3 times. Okay, so, hopefully you can see this on screen without it being too muffled. Okay. Then I'm going to use my Our Little Oracle deck. Again, these are 2 of my newest decks that I have not worked with yet. So today is the first. This is the backs. I just love these as well. This is the backs. I'm going to scoop my gems back. Give us some more room here. I've actually never tried to shuffle. These are hella big. I think I've said that before when I did the review on these. Jeez Louise. Yeah, when I did the review on these, I mentioned, oh, okay, it's not going to shuffle the way I want it. Maybe I need to do it this way. I hate doing it this way. That still wasn't a good shuffle either, but that's okay. We're going to do our 3. Got big 3 popping. Until I figure out another way to shuffle this deck. Okay. Alright. I'm going to do 1. I see that's upside down, so let me go ahead and straighten that. Because I'm not doing upside down oracles. 2, and then I want to use an old deck that I have here. The Sacred Travelers deck. This will give me help or insight on how to move through. So the little oracle deck is going to give me some obstacles that we may be dealing with this particular week, with the word of affirmation as well, or something that could help us through the week as well, depending on how the cards fall. Alrighty, let's go right off top. That's our 3rd oracle. So we got 1, 2, 3 oracles. Yeah, let's just do it this way. And let's go ahead and get our numerology cards as well. These do not want to be shuffled today, but that's all right. It's a reason for the season. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Say, I'm going to redo this because I want to read this tarot first. So for our first tarot, we have the Emperor card. Okay. The Emperor, you already know this is somebody that is technically ranked higher than the king, right? But he has the same type of power as a king would have. The Emperor, though, is more active because the Emperor normally fights. They usually go to war. They go to war. When in most cases kings don't. Okay, and this is something that's long term. So the Emperor energy is coming through. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, we have a decision that needs to be made. There's a choice that has to be made here in regards to what we may value, some earthly possessions, maybe our money. We're looking towards achieving things, trying to reevaluate life and try to get some stability. So, okay. And then we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. With the Queen, we're looking at trying to understand what drives our feelings, our emotions. Relationships also could be involved in this, whether or not we need support, and it leans on who we can actually trust as well. So this particular week, things that we need to be alerted for or need to be keeping our eye on and keeping warning of is how to fight for the things we want, fight for the things we need in order to give us that stability that we're trying to get to. Whether it's just obtaining something material, or just looking at things that we value in life and making sure we keep our emotions in check in regards to those things. Okay? Because we're having a battle right now with understanding why we're feeling the way we feel. So that tells me that there's somebody that's possibly dealing with some mental health issues right now, and not necessarily saying that you are diagnosed with a mental health condition. Regular folks who aren't diagnosed can have a mental health issue at that particular time. They could be depressed or have anxiety or be upset or just have worry. All of those things fall into the mental health category. But everyday people may experience that at some point in their life. The difference between what I call a regular everyday person compared to somebody that's diagnosed, the people who are diagnosed have a very hard time navigating that feeling or emotion and getting out of that feeling. They don't know how to get unstuck from those feelings or emotions. So those feelings start to overwhelm them. Once we get more into our numerology reading, I will be able to see if it's something specific towards like depression or anxiety, or is this just a temporary moment that we're going through, that we need to take control over those unresolved feelings and emotions. And then may very well be something to journal. That's one way we can get through this is journaling, talking to someone, talking to a friend, or just sharing, venting, getting something off your chest. Sit down and write a letter, possibly. That's another thing that you could possibly do to help you navigate these feelings and emotions this week. Because otherwise, because we do have the warning, otherwise you may break. You may not be able to know how to regain control of said emotions. You may sit and stew in it too long, and that can start to negatively affect others around you if you choose to do that. All right, so this is our first oracle card. Again, this is something that we may be dealing with in regards to what we're being warned against. And it says, step fully into your power and let yourself be seen. Okay, so that kind of works with the emperor, because you know the emperor has an ego, okay, and the emperor likes to show off, and also the emperor likes to present themselves to be strong. Because we are dealing with the Queen of Cups in reverse, having emotions that we're not understanding. What I see here with the showgirl, when it says step into your power fully and let yourself be seen, don't try to hide it. Don't try to pretend that you're okay this week. When somebody asks you how you're doing, tell them. A lot of times, that usually when people ask, it's just like a, you know, not, I can't say the standard. What's the word I'm looking for? It's something that they just say automatically. How you doing? I'm good. Finding you. But when they say finding you, they really don't really mean that they're doing fine. And to you, I want to know your issues either. They expect finding you to be the end of the conversation, but you would need to actually find somebody that you could share and be vulnerable with, and share those true emotions again. Because if you don't, it's gonna hinder your week. Let's see what else we got here. This is the second one I pulled. The sweet escape. Allow yourself softness without guilt. This is exactly what we're talking about. So we are dealing with our emotions this week. Shit may just be going all the way haywire for you. Every time you think you got a little bit of step ahead, then it's very possible that something else is bringing you right back to where you were. Like, dang, is it me? Why is it always me? That type of feeling. Yeah, it's like every time you take 2 steps forward, you end up taking 1 step back, or you get pushed back, or you get held in that same spot. And it just seems like things are having a tumbling effect on you right now. And your emotions, you want to keep them in check. You want to keep them in check. Okay? You want to fight, rage against the machine. If somebody tells you that, girl, you ain't looking good, or bro, you need a hug right now, and then you just instantly snap. And that's that ego pride from the emperor taking over. But again, this week we're going to try to find this way to balance that, to choose our happiness, our joy, get our sweet escape for ourselves without feeling guilty about it. This is about you taking care of yourself and your own mental health this week. All right, I love the Sacred Traveler cards. They usually always be right on point with whatever messages I have. And let's see how we can help navigate, how we can travel through these emotional time, or this particular week that is possibly going to be a hard week. I had my hard week last week, and hopefully this coming up week Don't be too much harder. I got hit by a car on Sunday, and this is like the third time I've been hit in 2 years. And this is the new car that I got after the first two accidents. So yeah, I got hit this week. I just had a biopsy on two different sections of my body. I'm kind of in pain. I haven't got paid. My mortgage was late because I hadn't got paid. It just all shit's been going wrong for me this week, and I've been trying to hold it together. I really have, but I think sometimes I just need to be vulnerable with somebody and show that, fuck, I got feelings too, okay? And don't feel guilty about it when you want to take some time for yourself. Tell a motherfucker no, okay? Because that right there, because of our warning sign, it will stress us the hell out, keep our anxiety high all week if we don't find balance, find a way to balance it all and understand why we're feeling the way we're feeling. Like I said, that's the best way for us to journal too, is to write down in that moment what the feeling is that we're feeling. I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling upset, I feel deceived, I feel betrayed, or whatever it is. And then write down why we're feeling that way to help us navigate this whole situation, okay? Yeah, take action with passion. Yeah, that's the best way I would say for you to. I always like to follow the directions of the cards, and you see that this person is going this way into the show, girl, and the thing is step fully into your power and let yourself be seen. So when it says take action with passion, we are basically tapping into that power. That's the action that we're taking, and we're doing so with such passion that we're not going to feel guilty about it. Okay, there's things that bother us. We're fucking human. But this week, we're going to focus on identifying what it is that is causing us to feel this way. Taking a step back, allowing yourself not to feel guilty about it. Don't blame you. Don't blame yourself. And be vulnerable in the situation, because there may be someone out there who may be there for you to help you just navigate those feelings. Like I say, even if it's just a vent. It's not that all the time that you want somebody to solve your problems for you. Sometimes you just need to feel it, okay, in that moment, so that way you can let it go. All right, so this is what we had for our numerology cards. We had the number 8, had the number 1, and the number 1. Okay, so add those up to number 10. It breaks down to number 1. It says that this particular week you could feel like you are a loner, or you could choose to be alone. Okay? You could choose to be alone, but you're not going to, we don't want you to feel lonely. You know what I'm saying? You need to create something. You need to create, because this particular week you may struggle with negativity, and that negativity is going to be caused by your own doing, because you're in your own fucking head. Okay, so spend some quality time with a loved one. If you don't have a significant other, you got a sister, cousin, brother, friend, you got a niece or a nephew you haven't seen in a while, go pick them up. Go volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club or the Big Brothers. Do they still have those programs, the Big Brother, Big Sister programs? Spend time with someone that you love, a neighbor that you know may seem to be alone themselves. Spend some time with them, and that will help you to allow yourself some softness. Okay? It will help you to allow yourself some softness. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, because of the worry and stress that you may be feeling this upcoming week, you may lean into alcohol or other type of substances that can soothe you. Just be very careful of your intake. Okay. I think relaxation is going to be key for you this particular week. I think relaxation is going to be very key for you to get you out of your head. Help you release some pent up energy. If you haven't before, try it. Try yoga. Even if you don't stick with it, just try it this week. Or some meditation, or go out and get yourself a massage. Okay? It's going to make your heart race, your body sweat, all the things you need to help you get out of this mental state that's got you locked in. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Okay? So the 8 itself, it kind of represents power that we spoke about here. It represents confidence that you also have here. And that's what you're lacking, or that you may feel like you're lacking this week when dealing with those emotions and not understanding why you're feeling so down, or why you're crying and don't know that you're crying. That confidence in yourself, this trust in yourself that it's going to be over soon. And that's what, since we have 2 ones here, I will read those as in conjunction with one another. That life is going to get much better. Love will get much better. And whatever the problem may be, it's going to resolve soon. So this particular week, we're just going to take the time, our intentions, when we set our intentions, is to put forth actions. Take action with passion. Put forth actions that will help us navigate the issues that we are going to come up with, or that we may come up with this week. If you don't have any issues that come up, that's even more the better. But this is still something that you could practice. Just still take out your journal, a piece of paper, write yourself a letter, something this week, at least once. I implore you to do it daily, but at least once. Just sit down with yourself, and just yourself. And be vulnerable with yourself on paper, if you can't be vulnerable with someone else. But I do encourage you to, because you have a very individual spirit, and you don't like to really follow the crowd, you don't really like to lean on people in times like these, it's very much encouraged to try to spend a little time with somebody that loves you, and that you love as well. Okay, so that's all I have for you. I want to thank you for coming to this reading, and let's start our week off with the best intentions. Thank you. Have a good one. Peace.